So, while you all watch me attempt to model Nerscylla, I am going to be talking about Monster Hunter for the next however long this video turns out to be. I'm probably not going to explain things too much, so if you're not a fan of the franchise, this is probably going to sound like gibberish. You've been warned. Now then, disclaimer out of the way, once more with feeling, I called it! A few days ago on a different video, I said Nerscylla was going to be in Monster Hunter Wilds, and last night we got a trailer that showed exactly that. I was also right when I called it that there was going to be an ice map, but that's not too big of a guess, because basically every Monster Hunter game has had an ice map. Now the question is, will I be correct about the other monsters I half speculated, half wish were going to be in Wilds? I don't know, we'll see. But the trailer, in addition to proving you right about Nerscylla and the ice map, also showed some really cool things. Firstly, it seems like Arkveld can absorb the elements of monsters it hunts. We see it smacking down Raydao in the trailer, and then its wing chain things start to crackle with lightning, so it seems like it can imbue its wing weapons with elemental energy, because later we see it flare up with dragon element. So, was it hunting something with dragon element? I mean, it has to have been, right? And in the trailer, they say it's absorbing energy from Raydao, so yeah, it has to be able to somehow take elemental power from monsters and apply it to itself. Which, that is really cool no matter how it actually works. Then we got the drop that there's going to be Gormagala, which is huge and insane, because there's no way a game like Wilds that's so focused on making the ecosystem and environment feel real that has Gormagala in it is not going to do something insane with the Frenzy virus. Especially since we see the Ace Lancer showing up as part of that drop. So honestly, I think they called him in when they found evidence of Gormagala, because he knows about Gormagala and the Frenzy virus, because he's got first-hand experience from the 4th gen games. I mean, that was something I loved about World, how it had a couple characters from the 4th gen in it, too. And again, it makes sense that the guild or the research commission, however, would have called him in to help investigate and deal with the threat of a Gormagala, because that's potentially an entire ecosystem getting devastated if that gets out of control. Because again, if you got Gormagala, you have to have Frenzy virus and Frenzy afflicted monsters, so you basically have a zombie apocalypse, but even worse going on. So there's no way that's not going to be a huge story beat. So not only do we have what we've seen so far of the story, we got the kid from the Seeker Keepers tribe, who's like, Arkveld destroyed his village, he's trying to find his village, we're trying to help him. We got the other tribes from the different regions and whatever's going on there, but we also have a Gormagala Frenzy virus plotline happening too, which I was very much not expecting. We also just got a brief look at the Ice Shard Cliffs, the aforementioned ice map, which includes a new flying Leviathan species. Apparently it's called Hirobami, and it works kind of like Amatsu does, where it doesn't so much fly as it hovers and basically hangs in the air using strong wind currents, which, is it making those wind currents itself? Or like Amatsu? Or is it just the Ice Shard Cliffs has extremely strong wind currents, kind of like how the Coral Highlands does in World? I think it is supposed to be that its wind-catching membranes just catch the extremely strong wind currents of the environment, not it's flying through wind manipulation. But I could be wrong, maybe it's a little bit A, a little bit of B. There's also a brief moment where we catch a glimpse of what I'm pretty sure is probably going to be the apex of the Ice Shard Cliffs, but all we see it do is spew out a bunch of ice smoke or fog, so we don't really know what's going on there, and we only see it in shadow. But I'm pretty sure it's another Leviathan. And if... Wait, what if... I don't think that Apex is this, but what if the Ice Shard Cliffs also has Glacial Ignactor? That'd be awesome. That part's just pure speculation, but it would be really cool. But between Hirobami, Uthduna, and whatever this Apex, or maybe if it's not even the Apex of the region is, we have at least 3 Leviathans. Or, maybe the Apex isn't a Leviathan. It could also be a Snake Wyvern. Yeah, I just went back and looked at the trailer again. I think whatever that is, it might actually be a snake wyvern, which would be crazy, because we haven't seen one of those confirmed for Wilds yet. I don't know. It's either a snake leviathan, or not a snake leviathan. It's either a snake wyvern or a leviathan, but I'm not sure which. But it definitely has an ice breath, and whatever it is, it looks cool. But going back to Nerscylla, we also got to see a little bit of its turf war with Gypsyros, which Gypsyros being in Wilds was most of why I was so confident that we were going to get Nerscylla. But we see Nerscylla wrapping Gypsyros up with webbing, and then Gypsyros using its flashbang crest to get free, which was really cool to see. If you don't know, the reason why I was so sure that we were going to have Nerscylla because of Gypsyros, and why Nerscylla looks like it does, is because it skins and then wears the skin of a Gypsyros as part of how it does its thing. If I remember correctly, it's because Nerscylla is naturally weak to the thunder element, but because Gypsyros' hide is basically rubber, it insulates her from the lightning. And being the smart spider she is, she basically makes her own armor. I think it also helps with her making her poison too, but that could just be entirely something I made up. Still, it is really cool to actually see that predatory interaction actually occurring, at least partially. Part of the reason I'm so excited for Nerscylla is because I never actually got to hunt her, because I've never actually played any of the 4th gen games. Which is also why I'm really excited about Gormagala, but I didn't predict him, so, you know. Oh, I just thought of something. If Hirabami works kind of like how Amatsu works, what if we get Amatsu as one of our big in-game Elder Dragons? That would be awesome. They're very high up on the list of monsters I want to hunt but haven't got to yet. Amatsu uses the Leviathan skeleton and floats through the air like Hirabami seems to, so I mean, maybe. It's kind of like my speculation about having the Blango and Blanganga, because we have Kongalala, we have an ice map. Maybe we get the snow baboon? Speculation time, yes. Oh. We already have the amphibian skeleton with Chatacabra. I think that's how you're supposed to say him. We have the amphibian skeleton in Wilds. So what about Zamtrios? Zamtrios would be another crazy and fun one to have in Wilds. Be a nice mid-tier monster for the Ice Shard Cliffs and be kind of fun. I do really enjoy the more comedic monsters, so having the balloon shark would be great. Top of the list of monsters I would love to see return, though, still has to be Lagiacrus. I know we wouldn't get to fight him underwater, because Wilds doesn't have underwater combat, but it would still be glorious to see him fully realized like Wilds would do. Again, Kurapeko would also be a fantastic addition, because the interactions it could have with other monsters, with its ability to mimic monster calls, it'd be really cool to see that play out in Wilds. And again, I think Gobule would work in the Scarlet Forest pretty well. And you know what, maybe throw in Nibblesnarf as a little treat in the Windward Plains. I don't know, I'm just so excited for this game to come out. I mean, they've already given us an octopus monster, what more can we really ask for at this point? Well, actually, there is one thing. The Equal Dragon Weapon. We're bouncing the Zamtrios from speculation into pure, it would be cool though, wouldn't it, territory, but I really want to see the Equal Dragon Weapon actually have something done with it. Even if it's just like an acknowledgement that it was a thing the guild found. But actually seeing it play out in game as a hunt would be insane. Like, have it be a giant siege quest. And like, unlike everything else, it's actively, like, you can see malice in how it acts. Like, take a cue from Nakarkalos and have it have like different parts from a bunch of different monsters that it can use to do all sorts of different stuff with. It'd be awesome. Like, give it like a tail that's a Dragonator, so it can do like a tail jab spear attack, then it shoots the Dragonator blade out. Give it like, I don't know, give it a turret on its shoulder, why not? You know, it'd be awesome. This thing's supposed to be from the ancient civilization's war with the Elder Dragons. It would be, you can do whatever you want with it. It'd be insane to see it. And given how Wild seems to have a very respect the balance of nature tenet of the guild focus. Couple that with this being a place that the guild has never had contact with. We thought there was no one there, but there's actually people here. And then we have all this ancient civilization ruins and all the machinery in the oil well basin. I mean, it kind of screams remnants of the ancient civilization to me. And it seems like the people of this land either have no concept of monster hunting at all, or are like way too into the idea to where, you know, they're threatening to upset the balance of nature. They don't have that responsibility of ethics that the guild kind of does. Or at least that was the vibe I was getting from the few character scenes we've seen. We got a couple theme motifs of like recklessness and hubris going on. And it gives me just a little hint, little taste of like the ancient civilization just slaughtering massive amounts of dragons to build their giant tower and stuff, and then Fatalis getting uppity about it, and wiping out Shrade. I don't know, just a little taste there, a little hint there. Maybe, probably not, almost certainly not, but it'd be really cool, you know. Like, we're almost certainly not getting the equal dragon weapon, but just imagine if it was in Wilds in place of like how World had Xeno'jiiva. That'd be really cool. Incredibly unlikely, but really cool. I just really love Monster Hunter, and I cannot wait for the 28th when Wilds comes out. It's gonna be awesome. If you like Monster Hunter, please share your speculations about Wilds with me. I'd love to hear them. And if you're not a fan of Monster Hunter or just haven't interacted with the franchise yet, A, I highly recommend it, and B, thank you for sticking around listening to me rant about it for 12 minutes now, just about. If you somehow managed to enjoy this, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.